Welcome to the jungle. That's pretty much what it is. Hey guys, it's Jessie with Lost Marbles Farm. Today we're tackling the jungle. And by jungle, I mean our strawberry patch. It's a roughly 12 by 6. It may be a little bit longer than 12 feet, but roughly about that big. It's a pretty good sized patch. And it is literally a jungle, y'all. It's hard to believe it, but we planted this, or I should say transplanted and made this a new bed last spring, and it's completely engulfed in strawberries. So we had this patch in another area of the yard, but it was where we were going to be adding an addition to our house. It was really close to the house, and so we knew we needed to move it. So we dug up our youngest plants and moved them over here, and we had them spaced out about a foot to 18 inches apart. And as you can see, it is pretty solid. I mean, there's a little bit of space, but that's all strawberries. So what you need to know about strawberries is they spread very quickly, and you have to do this every year if you want to continue to get a good yield of strawberries. All right, so I'm bringing you in up close. Do you see how some of these are kind of a purpley color? Okay, that shows you that they're in the dormant season. Okay, the plants are dormant right now, and when you see that coloration, there's nothing wrong with them. This isn't a fungus. They're not sick. They'll just turn those little purpley, magenta, whatever you want to call it, color in the fall. When you get some freezes, you'll notice that happening. Now, what you want to do is in the spring, you're going to want to thin these out. You could do it sooner. I just choose to do it this time of the year because it feels great to be outside. What you want to do is you want to pull up all of your older plants, okay? Because strawberries do better with new growth. So, how do you find your older plants? Well, it's just as simple as this. You find a bigger clump. Like if it's a really big clump, let me get some of these leaves out of here. Okay, like a main big cluster where it's got lots of new things coming out, lots of stems. It's kind of bulkier. You can just feel it. I mean, you feel it being bulkier. Okay, so this is an older plant. Off of this plant, it will send runners. The runners are going to be your smaller plants. Okay, so here's the mama. She's going to send off some runners. Here's one runner. Okay, this is one. Here's another runner coming off a plant. See how it's smaller? It only has a few things coming off of it. It's not big honking, big chungus over here. So that's the difference in the young and the old plants. So what you're going to want to do is you want to dig up all of your older plants and some even of the smaller strawberry plants, because you want to make sure they're spaced out at least a foot apart. And I know that may seem like you're destroying a lot of your plants, but they need that space because they're going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to have more runners sent out in your strawberry bed. Now you can give those plants away. You could extend it and start a new patch if you wanted to, but just keep in mind, if you do start a newer patch, you're going to have to do the same thing the next year, thinning them out and things like that. So it may take a few years to decide based on your family size how many plants that you need. I find that our patches are never big enough. Now I'm just going to make it as big as I'm willing to deal with, but we eat a lot of strawberries and the kids are always out here getting them. I love putting them up. I love making strawberry jam. So eventually I may end up making this a little bit bigger. I may make it into an L shape or something like that because I can't keep going that way. It goes into the pasture, but I'll play that by ear. For this year, I'm not extending. This year, I'm just going to be thinning them out and getting this bed new. So I'm going to get started on this. I'm going to take a picture before and then show you what it needs to look like afterwards. Okay, so it took us quite a bit, but with the kids' help, it really went a lot faster. All right, so here's the after. And we probably took out at least 300 plants or more. That's how thick they were. So, and I may actually come in here and thin them out even more, because I tried really hard to space them about a foot apart, but there's still some, like these, that are just a little too close. Like this one needs to go. This one can go. So, and then I'd probably take out this one to space those out. You have to imagine these plants are going to grow quite large when the weather starts warming up. So they're all competing for nutrients. And really and truly, pruning and thinning out plants, or gardening in general, it's really a lot of common sense stuff. So if you think about, there's, you know, pretend that all of these plants are people, and this is a buffet, okay? That the dirt is a buffet. If you have more people eating on the buffet, you're going to run out. If you have less people eating on the buffet, there's going to be more to eat, okay? And the more you eat, the bigger you get, right? I mean, I know that. We all know that. So if you want to have more strawberries, help bigger plants, then you need to have less plants eating on the nutrients that are in the soil. So that's kind of like your rule of thumb. All right, there's another tip I want to share with you, and this has to do with once your strawberry plants start sending up blossoms. Okay, so here is a plant, a strawberry plant. Pull that one out. All right, so here's one little plant, and in the center of this plant, you're going to start getting more green coming up. They're going to send up more leaves, and this is going to start getting bigger. Well, in the next few weeks to a month in our zone, this is zone 7, you're going to start seeing some little buds come up, okay? They're going to have like a little white flower bud that opens up. That flower is going to turn into a strawberry. So what you do is, and this is the best tip somebody has ever given me with strawberries, because it works wonderfully. So you pinch off all the blossoms. You're going to continue to pinch off every blossom. Even though you know it's going to be a strawberry, you're doing this because once that blossom comes up, all the energy goes to that strawberry. But they'll start coming up when this plant is still itty bitty. You want the energy to give you a bigger plant. So pinch off all the blossoms. By doing so, this plant is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Then when it's a good size, then from then on you stop pinching off blossoms. You let the blossoms come up. Those turn into your strawberries. If you don't do that, you're going to have a smaller, weaker plant that puts out smaller strawberries. Do you see what I'm saying? So pinch off all your blossoms, let that plant get bigger and bigger and bigger. Then you let the blossoms all come out. You'll have bigger strawberries, more juicy berries for your family to enjoy. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful for you. Try out some of these new techniques. Thin your strawberries out, cut off those blossoms as they come along. I know it's a little bit of extra step, but it's totally worth it. And please like, share, and subscribe, you guys. Join us on Facebook, because we do have a lot more that comes out on Facebook, more so than our videos. So check us out there, and be sure and hit that bell beside the subscription button on YouTube, and we appreciate it. And you guys, y'all have a wonderful week, and we will see you on the next video.